guys, it's Hillary. Welcome back to my channel, Enneagram Coaching. I'm your certified Enneagram life coach, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys what it's like to work with a type 6. Okay guys, so whether you are a 6, you work with a 6, you work for a 6, maybe you just even have a 6 in your life, this video is going to help you. It goes beyond the workplace. Everything I share is growth and areas of development and motivations and how to work with them and how to be with them and how to communicate. And even if you are a 6, how people see you in the world. So this video is definitely going to help you understand the type 6, or if you're a type 6, it might help you even feel understood better. So let's get started. Who are they? Who are the type 6s? Well, they are called the Loyalist. They are courageous, perceptive to people and problems, extremely good at strategic thinking, but they do struggle with doubt and also being pessimistic at times. They value security and belonging and being safe and secure. That is something that motivates them. It's one of their core desires. They are always paying attention to what's going on in their world, and they always are trying to minimize any risks or threats. And they're in the dependent stance. And if you don't know what that is, I have a video on stances. I will link it down below. The stances, the 1, 2, and 6, they are in that dependent stance. The 4, 5, and 9 are in a withdrawn stance, and the 3, 7, and 8 are in a more assertive, aggressive stance. And so, like I said, if you want to learn about stances, I will link that down below. And lastly, they are the ones that always have that contingency plan, right? They have plan A, plan B, plan C. I mean, come on, guys. They know. They are assessing at all times. They are the ones that, I've said this before. I mean, it sounds weird, but if something's going down, if something's going wrong, you want them there. They've already assessed the problem. If we need to find an exit door, they're already gonna know where it is. And so they're super important, and I really appreciate that about them, that they do have that contingency plan. Okay, so let's move on to what are some strengths of the type 6. Well, they are amazing problem solvers, right? Because why? Their thoughts, they're constantly revolving around what might go wrong and preparing for potentially dangerous situations, which means they become great problem solvers, right? And not only can they identify the problem, they usually already have a strategy that they can put in place. And so that is a strength that they bring to the team, that they bring to their life. The next one is loyalty and trust. Once they make up their mind, they are extremely loyal to people, to those that they trust. They're extremely loyal to their friends, to their family, to their coworkers, to the people, like I've said, that they've decided that they can trust. They're so loyal to, and those people can always count on them to be there for them. Okay, so they're very insightful and analytical. That's another good strength that they bring to the team, and like I said, to their life. Because why? They ask all the right questions, and they're always analyzing it, gathering data, you know, those types of things. Another great strength is they are extremely hardworking. It doesn't matter how much time it's going to take to finish the task. Usually they're going to finish it. They're not going to stop until the work is done. Okay, and the last one in this category is organizational skills. They have them. And what that looks like for them, careful planning, attention to detail, able to see the big picture, and they really prioritize their time well when healthy. Okay, which means let's move on to the areas of development for the type 6. Okay guys, so one area of development for the type 6 to work on is they actually focus so much on what can go wrong in life that sometimes they aren't looking for what can go right. And so that's a really important thing for them to work on. Not only be looking for what can go wrong in the world or in the situation or whatever it is, but also be looking for the data that says what can go right. So don't miss the positive data that could be in the situation. In the end, because this will bring things more in balance, because it's such a strength of them to be able to focus on, you know, the details of what could go wrong, but also they need to focus on what can go right. And so those things do need to be balanced, and that will serve them well. Okay, a big one. 6s need to make sure that they aren't projecting all their fears on the world around them. While it is one of your important defense mechanisms, I get that, and I know it helps you feel safe, and it's important, but it'll only help you to become more aware of it. Ask yourself, you know, when you are projecting, ask yourself, is there a real threat, or is this something that you're imagining? Is this just one of your, you know, plans of like, okay, this could go wrong and you've taken it really far? And so just the area of development is just to stop and ask a question. Ask yourself, you know, because sometimes there are real threats. That's why we know that's a strength, but also sometimes it's just spinning out of control. And what I'm just trying to say is just examine the evidence. Examine it to where you know if it's a real threat or not. This will help you recognize your own fear in it, and so it'll help you manage it in a more healthy way. Does that make sense? Because honestly, if you are projecting your own fears onto people, this actually might just be a way for you to be avoiding your own worries, your own concerns, your own fears. And so that's where the development comes in, to just ask yourself those important questions. Okay, and the last one, 6s are very focused on loyalty and trust, but despite this, they are more naturally inclined towards skepticism and wondering if people can be trusted. This actually can hurt your relationship sometimes, and then people might actually start to not trust you. And so turning this potential blind spot into awareness will definitely help a 6. Okay, so let's move on to, you might be working with a type 6 if 1, they express a lot of doubt even within their own work. 2, they might have what's called analysis paralysis, which can drive their teammates crazy. 3, they are funny, they are witty, they have such a good sense of humor. If they have kind of like that dry wit, a lot of times that's a 6. 4, they use the terms best case scenario, worst case scenario a lot. 5, they are huge advocates for the underdog. 6, they might challenge the authority in the room quite often. And number 7, when they're assigned to a new task or project, they have tons of questions. Okay, so let's move on to what's great about working with a type 6. First one, they are extremely hard workers. The next one, they think out of the box, right? They're great problem solvers. We already know that. Third, they are super calm in a crisis. This is like a favorite part of mine of a type 6. They're super calm in a crisis because why? They already have a contingency plan. They've already thought it out, and they have prepared for any worst case scenarios. Another one is they usually don't like the spotlight. They're more than willing to give you the credit. They don't like that spotlight usually. Another great thing about working with them, they tend to be super honest, direct, trustworthy, humble. You know, those are some great things about working with them. And last one, I've kind of already said this a couple of times, but they are great about making that contingency plan, right? They've already thought all those worst case scenarios out. And so that's someone that you absolutely want on your team. Moving on to type 6s, say it's hard working with others because. First one, if they think someone has a hidden agenda, oh man, they're gonna have a hard time working with them. They can smell that out, guys. And if they think that there might be a hidden agenda there, it's going to be hard for them to work on a project with somebody or even on that same team with them. Okay, a big one, sometimes it bothers them when they are the ones or the only ones asking those hard questions all the time. Sometimes it's hard for them to always be carrying that burden of asking the hard questions. Another one is people don't always understand them because they are more data oriented than people oriented, and that can be hard for the type 6. And the last one, they might say it's hard working with others is if all their questions aren't respected. Respect is a huge thing for them. And if people dismiss them when they're talking, that's so hard for them. So those are just the things that a 6 might say it's hard working with others because. Let's move on to ways to communicate with the type 6. The first one is if you have to have a hard conversation with them or anything along those lines, make sure to reassure them that you care, you're for them, you know, you're in their corner. And then also ask them, is this a good time to discuss it or do you need time to gather your thoughts? So don't always just like ambush them. Let them know that it's okay if they need to gather their thoughts before having that hard convo. That is a great way to communicate with them. Another great way, be direct. They're direct with you. Communicate clearly to them. Same thing that they give you, they would like that in return. And if they're poking holes into a situation, a problem, or you know, someone shared something and there's a plan in place and they start poking holes in it, acknowledge what could go wrong and really listen to them and respect what they're trying to do. They're not trying to poke holes to be negative or pessimistic or anything along those lines. They literally want to make sure that all their ducks in a row and that the plan will be successful before moving ahead. Another way to communicate with them, avoid withholding important information from them or changing the rules or discounting their concerns. Those will definitely get away and actually cause conflict, and it will not lead to good communication. And the last one, try and help create a safe environment to where they feel safe, respected, listened to, and supported. You know, that's really important for them. If you have that ability, try and do that. All right, so let's move on to how to get along with a type 6. First one, listen to them. I've said it so many times. They definitely want to be listened to, guys. And don't expect them or force them to have to be optimistic. Let them talk about their concerns. That's important to them. Support them, show empathy and acknowledgement of their anxiety and fears. Just like that support means so much to them. A huge one, be trustworthy. Be open, honest, and clear. You know, it does take time to earn their trust. I will tell you this, 6s are always watching and listening and reading you to see if they can trust you or not. Last one, value their ability to assess risk and troubleshoot. Value that, you know, because why? They do play a really important role on the team. So value that they are troubleshooters and problem solvers. So let's move on to how to motivate a type 6. First, They are motivated by consistent and trustworthy relationships. That motivates them. Second, being able to have space to advocate for their own personal beliefs and values. That's a way to motivate them. Third, they love to help others. So when they offer their help, if it will help you, take it. They do love helping others. And then guys, leave me a comment in the comment section below if you can think of any other ways to help motivate a 6. I actually just love to hear from 6s and get your thoughts on what would motivate you, because then I feel like you guys can help each other with this. Okay, last one guys, let's talk about growth practices for the type 6. First one, respect and welcome your fears, but learn to manage them. Learn to be aware of how and why your fears come and what are they about. Counter your fears with faith, confidence, courage, being brave. So counter that fear with that so that it doesn't cause you to spin and spin. And then you're not letting your fears drive you, right? And so that is a good growth practice for a type 6. Next one, notice if problem solving turns into excessive problem seeking. That's a big one for a type 6. Because why? Sometimes that makes things harder for you, not easier and not better. So reining in that tendency to want to solve all problems can help you to focus on what's most important to you. And in the end, it'll help you save and conserve your energy. So don't try and solve all the problems in the world, because that has got to be a hard burden to carry, I would imagine. I know I go towards a 6, the unhealthy side of a 6 in stress, and trying to solve everything and having anxiety and fears, that's super hard. And so I would say the growth is, not always carrying that on your own. Last one, learn to recognize when you're projecting your fears. We've kind of already talked about this. And learn the difference between projection and intuition, because it helps you to discern more clearly than maybe projection does. So learn to listen to your intuition and trust yourself more. All right guys, so that's all I have for you today. I really hope if you are a 6, you work for a 6, you work with a 6, you have a 6 in your life, that this really helped you guys and helped you understand each other better, communicate better, grow if you are a type 6. Just all of those things is why I do these videos. So don't forget to give my video a thumbs up and push subscribe. That helps me keep making these videos, because guys, I have a ton of videos out on Enneagram mistypes. So if you guys are wondering, oh, I might be this or I might be that, go look them up, and I have more coming. I also have types 1 through 5 in the workplace done already, and so go look for those. And then also I have a ton of videos if you are a type 6. I have interviews that I've done with type 6s. I have wings videos. I have so much on the type 6, so go find those and watch those. If you're like, wait, this video really helped me, but I didn't even know I was a type 6, go watch those videos. They will definitely help you. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm Hillary_McCaskey_coaching, but I want to close up the video so it's not that long. So thanks for watching guys. I appreciate you. Until next week. Bye guys.